Okay, the big time, here it is.
Today, while the blossom still clings to the vine, I'll taste your strawberries, I'll drink your sweet wine. A million tomorrows will all pass away ere I forget all the joys that are mine today. I'll be a dandy and I'll be a rover. You'll know who I am by the songs that I sing. I'll feast at your table, I'll sleep in your clover. Who cares what tomorrow may bring? Today, while the blossom still clings to the vine, I'll taste your strawberries, I'll drink your sweet wine. A million tomorrows will all pass away ere I forget all the joys that are mine today. I can't be contented with yesterday's glories. I can't live on promises, winter to spring. Today is my moment, and now is my story. I'll laugh and I'll cry and I'll sing. Today, while the blossoms still cling to the vine, I'll taste your strawberries, I'll drink your sweet wine. And a million tomorrows will all pass away ere I forget all the joy that is mine today. Happy anniversary,
Elizabeth.
And Paul.
And Buck.
And Buck.
This is where we keep going, right? Okay, yeah. Just checking. One of the things we've discovered over the years in looking for songs for Lynn and I to do together is, as you've heard, she has a beautiful voice. I play the guitar. And so the key is which ones work. And we stumbled across a couple. I'm sure this isn't his real name, so Buck, I'm going to task you with investigating. Conway Twitty cannot be his birth name, I'm sure of it. Loretta Lynn, though, probably close enough. It probably was a middle name or something. But they had the best string of hit duets. And one of the songs that they did really spoke to us. We both are on our second time around at this marriage thing. And one of the things we've discovered, divorce is an ugly thing, despite the song that was very catchy about it. But the good thing when you come out the other end of it is you have somebody to blame everything about your children on that you don't like. So, for example, this particular song is going to express a few thoughts about whose fault things are. Well, you're the reason I'm riding round on a recap tires.
And you're the reason that I'm hanging clothes out on the wires.
Well, you're the reason our kids are ugly, little darlings. But looks ain't everything, and money ain't everything, but I love you just the same. You're the reason I changed a beer from soda pop.
And you're the reason I never get to go to the beauty shop.
You're the reason our kids are ugly, little darlings. But looks ain't everything, money ain't everything, but I love you just the same. I guess that we won't ever have everything we need, 'cause when we get ahead, we got You're the reason our kids are ugly, little darlings. But looks ain't everything, money ain't everything, but I love you just the same. Looks ain't everything, money ain't everything, but I love you just the same.
Once again, Dave and Lynn Cheney. And they perform all over as well, and we have performed together in so many different places, and a lot of odd stories and interesting stories. And Lynn is the second person that I know the most in Washington, because I met you in 1987, before I met my wife, actually. And so we're going to do another, we have to wrap up the show because Danny Vernon is coming up next. And I know you're anxious to see him, so I'm going to... And I guess the train is excited about too.
Mariners just scored.
And they're the ones that play basketball, right?
Yeah, sure, we'll go with that.
I did go to... So this is a song, one of my favorite ones of Dylan. I hear the train a-comin', yeah. And it's from a movie called Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid. And it goes like this. Gonna take this badge off of me, 'cause I can't use it anymore. It's getting dark to see. Feel I'm knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. I'm helpless, helpless. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. I'm helpless, helpless. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Gonna wipe this blood from my face. I'm sick and tired of all this war. There's a dark cloud and it's hard to trace. Feel I'm knocking on heaven's door. Open the gates to Galilee, let me in. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. I'm helpless, helpless. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. I'm helpless, helpless, Lord. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Blue, blue windows behind the stars. Yellow moon is on the rise. Big birds flying all across my skies, throwing shadows on our eyes. It leaves us helpless, 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 knocking on heaven's door. Helpless, helpless, helpless. Can you hear me? Hear me, Lord. Helpless, 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 knocking on heaven's door. Helpless, helpless, helpless. Gonna throw these guns on down the ground, 'cause I can't shoot them anymore. There's a long black train and it's coming on down, down, down. Feel I'm knocking on heaven's door. Open the gates to Galilee, let me in. Helpless, helpless, helpless. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. I'm helpless, helpless, helpless. Knocking on, knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. And the angels sing. Having that, I'm constantly looking at the clock. I guess it's the German in me. Yeah, it's right there. Yeah, so I'm going to do this other Dylan song because Will Rogers says if we can hire a president that's competent, but it wouldn't happen in his lifetime, and that's in the 30s. And he also said without the Senate and Congress, he had no jokes to write about. So Will Rogers has a lot of wisdom about politics, and he said a smoking section is like having a peeing section in the pool. I don't know how that works, but so and Dylan just said the times they are a changing. Come gather around, people, wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown, and accept it that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. Every time you do is worth saving. Oh, you better start swimming or you sink like a stone, for the times they are a-changing. Come writers and critics who prophesize with your pen. Keep your eyes wide, the chance won't come again. Don't speak too soon, for the wheel's still in spin. And there's no telling who that it's naming. For the losers now will be later to win. For the times they are a-changing. Come senators and congressmen, please heed the call. Don't stand in the doorway, don't block up the hall. For he that gets hurt will be he who has stalled. There's a battle outside and it's raging. It'll soon shake your windows and rattle your walls. For the times they are a-changing. Mothers and fathers throughout the land, and don't criticize what you can't understand. Your sons and your daughters are beyond your command. Your old road is rapidly aging, so get out of the new one if you can lend a hand. For the times they are a-changing. The line it is drawn, the curse it is cast. The slow ones now will later be fast, as the present is now will later be past. The order is rapidly fading, and the first ones now will be later last. For the times they are changing. Thank you. And if Elizabeth was here, we would have kicked into If I Had a Hammer. But we ran out of time. We got time enough for her to do this Christy hit that you all know. And if you don't know it, I don't know where you've been. So sing along with us. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands. From the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I went walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. And I was singing, this land was made for you and me. Come on now. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Remember, this land was made for you and me. The sun was shining as I am strolling, with the wheat fields waving and the dust clouds rolling. As the fog was lifting, a voice was calling to me, and it said, this land was made for you. Help us out now. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. Can you give a big round of applause to Lynn and Dave Cheney? Our sound man, Justin and John, and his other assistant. Give them a big round of applause. My name is Cowboy Buck. But if you love this city, if you love this fair, this is my favorite fair in the whole wide Northwest. And if you love this state, and if you like the United States, will you stand up with me right now and sing this song? If I can get you all to stand up with us. This way we get a standing ovation. Sing along, let me hear you now. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Remember, this land was, one more time, clap those hands, come on. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Remember, this land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me. You and me. All right, thank you very much. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you.
All right, everybody, let's hear it one more time from Mr. Tambourine Man. We got Buck, Lynn, and Dave up there. Great harmonies. Thank you so much. And coming up next, I don't